So that means Phil Jackson once again will come off the bench with Dennis Rodman and Tony Kukoc. Hugh Evans, Don Faden, Nolan Fine are the officials as game 2 gets underway. And Strickland off the spin is able to hit. He got off early on Friday night. Caffey getting down court, but he blew to the Michael Jordan right there.
Well, a couple of things that we saw the other night. First of all, the key matchup between Michael Jordan and Strickland. One of the reasons for putting the bigger Jordan on the smaller Strickland is take away his post-up, and he basically backed down Michael on the first play and shot a jump shot right over him.
In game 1 here in Chicago on Friday, the Bulls won it 98-86. It was not easy. The Bulls led by 4 at the half. They were the Bullets down by only 4, 2 minutes into the fourth quarter, and then Chicago able to pull away due to the play of Jordan and the outside shooting of Steve Kerr. Here's Pippen, fouled by Webber. So Chris Webber, who got involved in early foul trouble the other night, picks up the foul.
Well, the big factor in the game the other night, all of the hustle stats going Chicago Bulls way. You see the offensive rebounds, a lot of that Dennis Rodman getting his 6 of 9 on the offensive glass and the second chance points, and not necessarily the Bulls forcing those 22 turnovers. Just like George Murison made the bad soft pass into the lane, is almost the Bullets committing those turnovers themselves.
And an early 22nd timeout is taken by Bullets coach Bernie Bickerstaff. Dennis Rodman will be coming off the bench once again. He had an uneven performance the other day, making his return, played 23 minutes, just 1 point, 9 rebounds, was ejected. We talked about Rodman with Chris Webber.
Dennis knows me. His antics and all that sideshow, you know. I just look at him as a 36-year-old man acting like a little kid. And I think he also knows that it's easy to be tough when the camera's on.
A 36-year-old man acting like a little kid, says Chris Webber of Dennis Rodman.
Well, Chris Webber has a lot more things to worry about right now besides Dennis Rodman. Big-time foul trouble in game 1, has already picked up an early one here.
A minute gone by, and the Bulls with a 4-2 lead. Nice pass, and Webber able to stuff it home. A whip pass from Strickland. Michael Jordan guarded by Calbert Chaney. Ron Hopper. Scottie Pippen being played by Chicago native Juwan Howard. And Pippen for 3. Jordan not able to hit on the follow, and the foul call.
Well, much tougher and tighter defense by the Washington Bullets, forcing Chicago away farther from the basket. And now Michael Jordan just shedding Calbert Chaney out of the play, and then Chaney returning the favor, pushed Michael Jordan on that follow-up attempt, but Michael not getting the call, letting the officials know about it.
Foul on Murison, a non-shooting affair. The Chicago Bulls gunning for their 5th championship in 7 years, finished the regular season at 69-13. They ended up losing 3 of their final 4 games to Detroit, Miami, and the New York Knicks. They fell short in making it back-to-back 70-win seasons. Last year they had a record 72 victories, and what with the injuries suffered in particular by Tony Kukoc and Dennis Rodman. Bill Wennington is out the rest of the season. There are some who look at the Bulls and say they are vulnerable. And as I say that, Michael Jordan does the usual, hits the jump shot, and the Bulls lead 6-4.
Well, one of the things the Bullets are going to have to be careful of, again, they gave up those 20 offensive rebounds in game 1, have already given up 3 in just 2 minutes of play in the first quarter.
Webber getting the position, met by the double team, and knocked away by the Bulls. So the Bullets with 8 on the shot clock. Webber able to get it into Murison. Puts the move on Longley. Too many moves, and it's a traveling violation.
Kind of an interesting matchup by the Bulls with Scottie Pippen watching Chris Webber, who you think of as a power player down low. Now, he did get a easy dunk basket once on Pippen on good execution by the Bullets, but he's really a floater. He likes to hang on the perimeter. Caffey playing the more dangerous Howard inside. That pass intended for Caffey. The Bullets finished the regular season in strong fashion. They finished up 44-38, qualifying for the playoffs. Final day of the season last Sunday in Cleveland as they beat the Cavaliers. Weber with the room. Yes, it's a three for Chris Weber, and the Bullets lead 7-6. Quick transition by the Bulls. Jordan coming up short. Bullets have finished up by winning 16 of their last 21 games, and they extend to the 9-6 lead. For Juwan Howard, his first field goal. The record of 44-38, Washington's best since back in the 78-79 season when they went 54-28. And a loose ball foul. It is on Caffey. Well, as always, we're joined on the sidelines by Ahmad Rashad. Let's check in with Ahmad.
All right, thanks, Marv. You know, I talked to Michael Jordan about this matchup with the Bullets, and he said that they knew it was going to be a tough matchup by the way the Bullets played him during the course of the regular season. He said, and that is a good thing because it has not only caught their attention, but it's also helped to get them in the proper focus, the proper frame of mind to win an NBA championship. He said he's not concerned with the scores. All he's concerned with is winning 15 games on his way to another championship, and they got 14 more to go. Marv?
Thanks, Ahmad. 15 is certainly the magic number. George Murasan called for that foul. And looking back since 1991 in first round playoff action, the Bulls have been able to coast right through. They've won 19 of 20. The one loss was game 2 to Charlotte back in April of 1995, the year that Michael Jordan made his return from the baseball wars. They lost to Charlotte 106-89. The Bulls then went on to win that series and lost to Orlando. Calvert Chaney on the break, and the Bullets with a fast start lead it 11-6.
Bernie Bickerstaff, the head coach for the Bullets, has to be happy with the aggressive pressing defense of Washington, at least pressing in the half court, challenging passes, challenging shots.
Longley. And again, here come the Bullets. Jordan finally draw the foul on the move by Strickland. Harvey Grant checking in after George Murasan picked up that second personal. Harper with the opening. Ron Harper with his first field goal.
And a haymaker pick set by Michael Jordan to free up Harper, and Rod Strickland not wanting to switch with Jordan, getting hung up on the play, enabling Harper to get to the basket as Strickland and Chaney miscommunicate.
Pippen eluding Howard, behind the back for Caffey, and fouled, hit on the reach-in by Strickland.
Part of the triangle offense, and a key part is swinging the ball to the weak side. This time they don't do it with the pass. Michael Jordan coming up, and Chaney, you see his reluctance to switch on that play and leave Michael Jordan, and Ron Harper took advantage of that just little bit of daylight. There's some of Michael's huge playoff games. Way back when in 1986, 63 against the Boston Celtics.
Jason Caffey, who averaged 7 points, 4 rebounds. Solid season. Started 19 games, receiving the starting assignments due to the injuries and suspensions. Leveled on Dennis Rodman. Dennis Rodman in all missed 27 games due to injuries and suspension, and the Bulls went 21-6 without Rodman. But there's no question they want him in top form for this playoff run. And as Howard sets up, he was blocked by Caffey. Timeout is called. 6:56 remaining in the first. The Bullets to a 4-0 stretch, making it to the playoffs. Had that huge game last Sunday in Cleveland. 23 points, 17 rebounds, with making the playoffs on the line and hoping to turn it here today from what took place in game 1.
Well, big problems for Chris Webber in game 1. He got into foul trouble, only able to play 24 minutes. And when 4 of your 7 shots are coming from behind the arc, well, you make 2. That's very good. But Chris Webber at 6'9" with those long arms has to get more inside.
Dennis Rodman, Tony Kukoc had checked in for the first time. Here's Grant launching the 3. Hopper with the rebound. Tony Kukoc only 1 for 10 the other night. Met by Juwan Howard. Dennis Rodman being chased by his good friend Chris Webber. And here's Michael Jordan. The game is tied at 11.
Well, the Bulls are making a conscious effort of pushing the ball up the floor. They seem to have gotten a lot out of watching tape of game 1, where the Bullets show a propensity to get back defensively very slowly.
That pass surprised Cheney, but able to handle it and hit. Pass was thrown behind him. Good recovery. Bullets lead by 2 as we come up on the halfway point of this first quarter. The steal by Howard. It's a 3-on-2. Strickland with the pull-up. Howard kept it alive. Bullets controlling the offensive board. Here's Webber with the hook.
Good friends, Chris Webber and Juwan Howard. First of all, Howard jumped on the back of Webber to keep one of them alive, and they were battling each other more than the Chicago Bulls.
Energetic, solid start for the Bullets. Hopper, Webber off the boards. And the pass, the outlet thrown away. So it goes back to Chicago.
And Chris knows he made a bad one right there. Points to himself, and just by putting it in the one hand, the fundamentally unsound play, whipping the ball out there rather than the 2-hand chest pass, where you get a little more snap to it, a little more direction, and you don't make those careless turnovers.
Tony Kukoc has made it back from the strained right arch injuries. Had problems with the foot all season. Passing on the 3, going into the drive. Yes, and it counts.
Well, Tony realized after game 1 he did not like his outside shot very much, taking advantage of the pressure defense to get to the basket where he might get a layup or might get a foul. He's going to wind up to get them both. There you see as Tony tried it from all different places, all different angles, and generally when Tony Kukoc makes his first shot, the rest of his game falls into place in a positive way.
Last season won the 6th man award and kind of poked at it because he felt he could be starting more. Usually at his best with the ball on the move, particularly in the half court, but these days he's trying to find his rhythm as he gets back into it and opens with the 3-point play. Bullets now lead 15-14. 5 minutes left in the first. Rodman, but he stepped out of bounds.
So far, Michael Jordan, his effort so far has been directed at trying to keep Rod Strickland from getting into the lane, either for his own shot or to make a pass to one of his big men underneath or a kick out to a shooter. Michael doesn't care if Strickland pulls up and takes the jump shot, wants to keep him out of the lane.
Well, the other night, Strickland had 19 points. 10, though, came in the first quarter, so they had him under control. That time, the sequence stopped by Jordan. Good job against Strickland.
Strickland is a good post player, but Michael denied it.
And Calvin Cheney knocks down the long-range jumper. He is 3 for 3, 6 points. Bullets 17, the Bulls 14. Game 2 of the best of 5. Jordan. He's connected on 4 of 6. He has 8 points. Bullets lead by 1. Bullets have been a pretty good road team, 19-22 during the regular season. Strickland able to get inside, and the Bullets lead by 3. And in the regular season, they won 9 of the last 13 games on the road. The 19 road victories, most for the Bullets since back in 81, 82. Jordan to the crossover, then had the shot deflected by Cheney. Bullets on the run. Cheney with the pull-up. Pippen, let's see. Hugh Evans looking for help on the call. Was it Grant or last touch by Pippen? Or perhaps a foul. Delayed call, but they say a foul on Grant.
Well, Scottie Pippen looking for the outlet, and Harvey Grant